Cartoons can be made for people of any age. Of course, the ones for adults can show blood, violence and a lot of different things than the ones made for children. Regardless, children cartoon producers like to experiment and sometimes they cross a line. We can find hidden and not so hidden adult-like content in a lot of shows for young kids. There is a constant argument of unprovoked and intentional violence, but there is also the case when a given scene brings up a too painful, real event. Episodes of widely known and popular shows have been banned for different reasons. Hi, I'm Donald from List Hive, and today I brought you 10 famous cartoons that got banned from TV. Tiny Toons was a cartoon made by Warner at the beginning of the 90s. We could see the stars of Looney Tunes as children. It's ironic how the banned episode was trying to warn and teach children about the dangers of alcohol. The little Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck and Porky Pig find a bottle of beer in the fridge. Though the others are against the idea, Bugs wants to open it and even says, "Today we will show the evil of alcohol to the viewers." The three little animals get drunk from one sip of alcohol, then steal a police car, drive off from a cliff, and at the bottom they crash into a cemetery. Their angel-like souls fly out from the wreckage and up to the sky. At the end of the cartoon they take their angel costumes off and hope that the kids understand now how not cool alcohol is. Good idea, bad execution. No matter how kid-friendly the message is, in the end the episode wasn't. The children dying in the fire of a wrecked car didn't go through in '91, and they quickly revoked the episode after its first airing. They never aired it again, but it was on the special edition DVD. The Pokémon anime that follows Ash's adventures first aired in 1997, and currently its 22nd season is running. After the 9/11 attacks in 2001, they revoked numerous episodes in America. In one case, a skyscraper got destroyed, and another episode's title was The Tower of Terror by accident. Besides those, there are 2 episodes that were banned in the whole world. Now I'm going to cheat a little and highlight 2 episodes within a series. In one of them, Team Rocket enters a beauty contest, and James, as part of his disguise, shows up with boobs. Parents have complained, so they took them off the character at first, but then they decided not to air the episode again. In the other problematic episode there were new kind of explosion animations, and sometimes white flashings fill the whole screen. After it first aired, 685 children in Japan had epileptic seizures. They never showed it again on TV, but of course it can be found on the internet. Since then people have made a lot of jokes connecting epilepsy and Pokémon. There's even a South Park episode when Kenny dies from a seizure after watching a similar cartoon. In the Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies series, a few episodes were made which got known as the Censored 11. It's not surprising with old cartoons that they got modified from time to time. Cut out a few scenes where they smoke, drink, fight or make racist jokes, but even editing scenes couldn't help these 11. The almost a dozen cartoons contain so much stereotypical black portrayal and caricatures that they were all banned in 1968. There's no amount of editing that would make them fit for broadcast today. Out of the Censored 11 I highlighted the creation named Coal Black and the Seven Dwarfs, which is obviously a parody of Snow White. They've created the dwarfs based on famous Afro-American jazz musicians, but actually all characters are Afro-American. They talk with just the right accent and the rhymes in the whole tale, but there are so many racial and cultural references and parodies that I can't even describe it. In 1943 these representations were totally acceptable, but today people would most likely set the studio on fire and would rebel on the streets if they would watch this cartoon. According to film experts and academics, Coal Black is one of the best and most important creation in cartoon history from an artistic point of view. Sugar, Spice and Communism. The Powerpuff Girls was one of Cartoon Network's hit shows, and it followed the adventures of 3 little superhero girls. An episode called See Me, Feel Me, Know Me in the 5th season was trying out something new, and it turned out as a rock opera musical in which all the characters are singing every last word. If it was up to me, I would have banned it just because of this. In the episode the girls can't handle the villains outnumbering them, and then a gnome comes to their help. He offers to get rid of everything evil, but they have to give up their superpowers in return. The girls agree, thinking they will not need their powers anyway without enemies. The gnome brings the peaceful utopia as promised, but the people of the town became some kind of cult members. It turns out that the people gave up their freedom in return for peace, so at the end, the girls chase away the evil gnome. It doesn't sound that bad, but the channel revoked it anyway. According to one of the theories, communism-like ideas appear in the episode. Another says that in the wrecks of the town, certain steel timbers form a cross, and in the scene after that there's a hippie guy who looks just like Jesus. So maybe the religious reference was the problem. Although both reasons are pretty weak, the episode haven't got aired anymore. Baloo, the bear of Jungle Book, got his own cartoon along with a few other characters. In this, our beloved bear is a cargo pilot. In the last episode, Baloo gets an assignment to get a package to another country's leader. The package turns out to be a bomb, with which the sender wanted to start a war. With the war conflict, they would have achieved the prosperity for their business. Well, yes, a bomb on a plane and all that, there's an actual act of terrorism in the cartoon, so Disney revoked it after the first broadcast, and it has never aired again. The Ren and Stimpy show has achieved the pop culture icon status in America because this was the first cartoon which had plenty of adult content. Many said that this show opened the door for South Park, Family Guy and all the others. It's disgusting to watch, it's filled with a lot of violence, sexual references and dark and sick humor. It got away with a lot of things, and it's weird how they would ban only one episode of a series because of something that is true for the others as well. In an episode called The Man's Best Friend, the two protagonist animals get their new owner, who tries to discipline them pretty seriously. Ren really doesn't like that, and at one point, when he's really fed up, he beats their owner with a shovel. The scene shows pretty much of the actual violence. For example, when he hits the guy in the face, one of his eyeballs fall out. Nickelodeon felt this was too much. Tom and Jerry is probably the world's most famous cartoon cat-mouse pair. During their career they have made one sad episode, but it got banned. At the beginning of the episode, Tom is sitting alone on the rails and waits. Through Jerry's flashback we learn that Tom had fell in love, but her girlfriend left him for a rich cat. Poor thing was waiting for the train, all broken and sad. Jerry says how good it is that his girlfriend stayed loyal to him, but then he sees his love driving away in a rich mouse's car. After that, Jerry joins Tom, and at the end of the episode they are waiting for the train together to commit suicide. In the last frames the train is getting closer and the screen turns black. If they would show this today, it would also be a problem that they show every female character as a heartless gold digger. Depression leading to suicide was not the best topic for a cartoon aimed for children in 1956, and it's still not a good idea. Peppa Pig is a cartoon for really young children, which is about the life of a family of pigs. In the short episodes they usually show everyday situations like cycling, going to the beach or visiting grandma. Every episode has an instructive message for the young audience. In one of the episodes the pigs find a spider at home and make friends with it. The moral of the story is that spiders are tiny, nice animals, and even if they are scary, they cannot hurt you. You don't have to be afraid of them. It's nice and sweet so far, only it's not true everywhere in the world. In Australia, over 2,000 people get to the hospital every year with spider bites, and a lot of species live there which can't only hurt you, but can kill you. Convincing children living there not to be afraid of spiders would be really dangerous, so it's no wonder why they immediately banned the episode in the country. Batman, the Brave and the Bold is a fairly new series in the hero's history. The light-hearted and humorous approach made The Dark Knight popular among younger viewers, but there was one episode where they managed to favor the parents a little too much. In this part, Batman gets a head injury and he thinks he's a villain. Soon he builds himself a small mafia empire, so it's up to the three heroines, Huntress, Black Canary and Catwoman to stop him. At one point in the plot, they get into a nightclub, where they perform an improvised song filled with a lot of sexual references. They sing about Batman being the biggest hero, and they mention all the important male characters' performance in bed, for example that Aquaman is just a small fish. This was too much for a lot of parents, and after it first aired, they only played a censored version of it. Donald Duck is banned in Finland because he's not wearing pants, but this nice character has an even darker secret. During the World War, anti-Nazi propaganda was all over America, and in 1943 Donald Duck got his share too. Der Führer's face has got a name for itself in history as one of the best cartoons, and it even won an award. In the short film, Donald is in Nazi Germany. He's suffering as a worker in an ammunition factory during the dictatorship, while of course making fun of its every aspect. Finally he wakes up in his bed, and it turns out that this whole thing was just a nightmare, and he thanks the Lord for actually being in America. After the World War, the US government has banned all propaganda movies, but the tale got uploaded to YouTube and became available on DVD too in 2004. Only Russia found the representation too radical and put it on a blacklist, but it became available there too in 2016. That's it for today. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to List Hive.